Hello everyone, and welcome to my review of Kengan Chapter 70. Now, very unfortunately, I was wrong this time around. I know, it's so terrible. But, 2 for 3 is good enough, I guess. I was right about the Kuroki training flashback. I was right about Falcon having one more trick up his sleeve. But unfortunately, I was wrong about this, which was like the most important thing in the whole fucking fight. So anyway, chapter 70, one move. So we go back to the fighting between Rihito and Falcon, and the commentators are talking about how it looked like Rihito was getting control of the match, but now he's like back at the disadvantage. And Rahito's trying to figure out what's going on with him. He feels like his body's going limp. And then he takes a mean fucking kick to the side of the face from Falcon. And Koga is trying to figure out what's going on. And that's when Himuro's like, oh, he's poisoned. So Kade's like the medicine man. He's poisoned. And Himuro explains that it's more clever than that. He's using Yao Xiao, which we explained last chapter. It's like the thing from Baki, where he coats his hand in poison to make it, toxic. But they notice that Falcon has stopped attacking and that he's actually slowing down. And you can see that he's really he's fucking wheezing and stuff. He's really not doing too hot. It's like they said last chapter, he's losing a lot of blood. He has like a couple minutes. If he can't make it in that much time, he's screwed. Which Dong Cheng notices, and then Wang Feng is also talking about how Razor's Edge is a pretty scary technique. And then that motherfucker himself. He is really ugly. Yumi Gahama is a hideous person to look at. He's just so gross. So he's asking what's taking Falcon so long to beat Rahito, and then King tells him to shut up. And I think that's the first time King has ever sort of commanded any of the other people on the Purgatory team. So Yumi Gahama, did I say that right? I never say his name. I just call him the Sixth Fang because it's much easier. Yeah, Yumi Gahama turns around and he's like, did you just tell me to shut up? Why don't you? And he stops. And we get a half-page panel of King, who's finally opened his eyes with a completely blacked out background. And he says, why don't I what? Go on, Yumi Gahama. And Yumi Gahama stops. So, King's stocks are going up. Yumi Gahama was already very hyped up as being on Agito's level, and as we know, Agito is the third strongest Kengan fighter. So Yumi Gahama is going to be up there. And if King is able to, fucking bully him around like this, if he's just able to, give him a look and be like, oh, what were you going to say? Why don't you finish what you were thinking there, Yumi Gahama? Then clearly, this man is the real deal, essentially. He's gotta be. Either him or Tarashi. Because Tarashi, they're showing him a lot, actually. Despite him not really having much to say most of the time. He's probably the weirdest of the Purgatory fighters, other than that dude in, the trench coat. Listen. If King is not the strongest Purgatory fighter, I will be let down. I can't lie, I will be kind of disappointed if King is not the strongest Purgatory fighter. If he goes and he fights, I don't know. I'm really not sure who he would fight. He would maybe fight, there are 3 people I could think of him fighting. One would obviously be Oma, because Oma is the old MC, and he's the strongest person on the Kengan roster, presumably. Then you have Agito. If Agito doesn't fight Yumi Gahama, and Yumi Gahama fights what the fuck was his name again? Misato? Why am I forgetting his name? Eighth Fang. Because then it would be the king of the Kengan matches versus the king of Purgatory fighting each other, which would make sense. And then the third option I could see would be Wakatsuki, because Wakatsuki has the biggest record of any Kengan fighter. So though those three are like the big contenders I can imagine fighting King. If King goes up and he's kind of disappointing like Carlos sort of was, I'm going to start calling him wife beater. This is my pledge here. If King is kind of a letdown, I'm going to start calling him wife beater. But anyway, we go back to the match. We've got Rihito trying to do a kick, and he reopens Falcon's wound because Falcon's trying to defend against him. And Rihito starts to do a surefire orthodox combo, just doing 1-2 left middle, just wailing on him. And he gets in another Razor's Edge hit. So we go back to the audience. Kirimi is saying that his opponent stopped moving, which Kuroki explains is Falcon reaching critical blood loss, and either of them could pass out at any second now. So Rihito continues the beatdown, and Falcon's thinking about how this is irrational, and he can't understand why he can't stay ahead of him. Rihito should have been like nothing for him. He should have been trash. He should have been able to trounce him without any issue, and he doesn't understand why he's having such a hard time. So Rihito tries to use another Razor's Edge hit, and Falcon smacks him in the eyes. But Rihito grabs him by his, coat. But apparently Falcon slipped out of it, and I guess I would probably say it looks like he went under Rihito's legs, and then he kicked him in the back of the neck and, stabbed him. The ninja art spare and stab. They start to count down for Rihito because he's on the ground. So Falcon seems to think that he got him, but then Rihito gets up and he's like, that hurt. I'm going to be feeling that tomorrow. So, where were we? And we get the meanest fucking shot of Rihito I've ever seen. He looks psychotic. He looks like a fucking monster. It's incredible. And Falcon looks scared shitless. It's incredible. And he can't understand how Rihito is still moving after his Sparrow Stab. I think they fucked up the translation on the first one. They called it this. Oh no, I read that wrong. That's just because the text is weird. Yeah, the Sparrow Stab. He doesn't understand. Who the fuck is Rihito? I don't understand. This is irrational. I can't accept it. He tries to do ninjutsus, and Rihito kicks him in the hands, and he breaks the shit out of his fingers. That's so great. I love when in a fighting series you have this character that does some shit with their fingers, and it's super strong, and then when the person they're fighting figures it out after getting, their ass kicked for a while by these dumb finger moves, they're like, fuck you, and they just break their fingers. It's so good. This is probably, my favorite, my favorite shot. This would probably be my third, because my favorite was Rihito looking like a psychopath. And then I liked the thing with King. So this would probably be the third best part of the chapter. So, Falcon tries to do a Owl Talon kick, but just takes a punch right in the nose. And Rihito turns it into a grab and smashes Falcon onto the ground. But as Rihito's going to do another hit from the Razor's Edge, Falcon kicks his leg out from underneath him, and he moves onto his back. And as Rihito is getting all woozy from the poison again, Falcon puts him in a chokehold. He puts him into a rear naked choke. And Rihito, his eyes start dilating and stuff. Falcon stabs him in, the thigh again, adding in another dose of poison, and he says, you lost by one move. Rihito, oh my god, I just noticed this. He is fucking tearing into Falcon's arm. It's like he's going to rip out a chunk of his arm, and he's screaming and thrashing, and he's got fucking veins bulging out of his temple, and he's foaming at the mouth with blood and hyperventilating, and Kuroki's watching along with the rest of the audience, and then Kuroki closes his eyes, and you see Rihito's hands twitching, and then it looks like Rihito passed out, and the announcers say that he's down and the match is over. So, fuck me. Fuck me. God damn it. I really thought he had this in the bag. I'd say I'm disappointed, because I am. I thought Rahito had this in the bag. I really was rooting for him here. But, like Falcon said, he lost by one move, I guess. I think, towards the start of the fight, I think Gao said that Rahito was still in the middle of getting strong, so we know that he's not done. I mean, we already knew that. We already knew that Rahito had a long way to go, just from, like, how he was going earlier on in the fight. But, shit. Like, I thought this was going to be, like, like how Falcon said that he was going to be a stepping stone for reaching Kuroki. I felt like Falcon was going to be Rahito's stepping stone to, like, becoming a top-tier fighter and, getting really good. But maybe that's going to happen in a different way. I don't know. I do have to give credit to Jorboku Great Heaven 2, who commented on my review for Chapter 65 that Falcon will win. I guess you're prescient or something. Congratulations on predicting the match right. What can I say? That's one of the appeals of the Kengan series, is that the author does not have, like, plot armor, really. There's not plot armor for characters. But what can I say? I am interested in seeing what's going to happen next chapter, because I don't think they're going to have a break until 2 weeks from now, because if this really is the end of the fight, which it seems like it is, then we're going to see the start of the next fight, which they always have a break right after. But that means we're also going to see, like, the aftermath and how people reacted to the end of this fight. And I wonder, what the fuck is Falcon going to try doing? Because he said that he was going to use Rahito as a stepping stone to face Kuroki Gensai. So what's he going to do? I doubt he's going to try anything now, because his fingers are broken, and he's about to pass out from blood loss. So I doubt anything's going to happen immediately. I saw someone on the Reddit say that they're going, like, the Record of Ragnarok route. The Record of Ragnarok's, like, the main series I do on here. So as you know, not your Discord, don't even worry about it for a second. Spoilers if you haven't read Record of Ragnarok, I guess. Humanity loses the first 2 rounds. So the good guys lose the first 2 rounds, and then they have a comeback in the 3rd round, even though the 2nd round seemed like it was going to be really, really close, which it was. So, yeah, shit, I mean, oh well, what can you do? If I had any predictions on who would go next, I would say maybe Gao? Because I think he said that he would go last time, and then Rahito stepped in. So maybe we'll see Gao. Finally, we'll get to see one of the main characters fighting. I think... Oh god, why am I forgetting his name? I think he'll fight Le Banner. I think a lot of people were saying that, and that seems pretty plausible. Because I think Le Banner is being built up as kind of like the purgatory equivalent of Gao, especially with the way that he's called, like, the Grim Reaper of Paris or something. It seems like his style is based around killing people, like the Gao style. So that does seem pretty plausible to me, but I guess we won't find out until next week. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I do Kengan Omega reviews every week. If you enjoy other series such as Record of Ragnarok, Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, and Bleach, I do videos on those series as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.